gasoline prices here are incredibly insane right now. You guys heard me talk about the economy being rough in Canada. Oh, it's hang on to your butts, guys. It's going to get real rough. Gasoline has now hit $1.34 per liter in Canada. We're not in gallons like the US here. That's $1.34 per liter in Canada. Rough. Work is pitifully slow for me at the moment. I have some things lined up, but I'm holding on to the money in the bank. It's pretty rough, guys. Like I said, though, I'm working on some other things on YouTube, other channels to hopefully get monetized and get me some funds, because they're going to be much needed in the times coming up. Now, that's kind of an overall update of what's going on, but I'm going to keep going. This is going to be a long one, guys. SHTF, it's happening now. From the sources that I listen to and watch, they're saying the Antifa terror group has lined up with the gangs, in the U.S. that the Mexican gangs actually. What are they called? I forget what they're called. I'll edit it into this video. M something, whatever. But they're going to be working with the Antifa groups, and something's going down. Like the FBI brought out a report just recently saying the Antifa terror group are working with these gangs, these Mexican gangs. Forgive me about the name. You guys probably heard of them. They're in the news. But they're thinking, the wording is, or the thought is on this, is they're planning something big. And they're planning it around the election time. So within the next 6 months to year and a half, they're saying there's going to be some crazy attacks going to be happening. Shootings, riots. They're trying to stir up a civil war event to go on in the U.S. Now, what that means for Canada, I don't know. But being as the globalists are the ones behind all this crap, I think if there was an event in the U.S. like that, then Canada could probably come out and say, oh yeah, by the way, our economy is really horribly bad. We're in so much debt and we're not growing. We're going to defunk at the same time, just to throw it in. Just stir the pot really good. You know, they love doing that. They got so much money and power, they're bored, so they try to stir things up, guys, and it's ridiculous. But anyway, the next 6 months to year and a half is going to be rough. The U.S. is gone completely insane, in my opinion. They are allowing... Actually, let me rephrase that. There are criminal elements in the government allowing the border of the United States and our country to fail on purpose to get rid of the country. A lot of people are... Now, there's a couple reasons they're doing this. And I've recently found out the UN is actually, before I say this, have you guys ever wondered why all these immigrants that are coming over are in brand new clothing? Anybody ever wonder that? Think about that? Most people are told these people coming, well, no. Most people would think these people are coming over in rags and in really disheveled clothing or old clothing, right? No. And why is that? That's a big question. Well, I found out through my sources, guys, people who I follow, these migrants are getting help. They're getting organized. They're getting help as in being told lies in order to be for them to be used as weapons. And not only that, they're being paid. Now here's where people are going to say, what are you talking about? What do you mean they're being paid? Recently found out these migrants are getting prepaid debit cards loaded with $500 American per card. Now, there was conflicting reports where it said they were getting $500 American per day on the prepaid card, but I don't know if I think it's a one-time deal on these prepaid cards. I don't know for a fact if they're being topped up or not, but this is crazy. So they're being given cards, they're being organized and told where to go, and they're being told what to say to the ICE agents when they get in to the US if they get captured, in case they get captured. And that's how they bankrupt the system set up to get into the US. The courts are so overwhelmed that deal with these cases that they literally came out and said it is impossible for them to process any more people because they're 9 years behind. Let me repeat this. 9 years behind in order for the court system in the US to process all these migrants. Let's think about that, guys. What's going to happen in 9 years? A lot, right? And the other thing is, 99.999% of these people don't show up for those court cases if they do get processed. So there you go. It is insanity going on. It's shit hit the fan is here. I'm living in a different kind of shit hit the fan as opposed to the US. We're in an economic downturn, big time, beyond what we're going to see, what you guys saw in Obama's recession, depression, with the housing crisis. This is going to be way beyond that. Now, but why am I concerned about the US? Well, the US is our biggest trading partner up here in Canada. And since our economy is already in the crapper, and if your guys is doing pretty well with Trump, but if all these migrants keep coming in, it's called bankruptcy, guys. And then obviously the domino effects of that is we're going to be bankrupt, and the crime and everything else is going to shoot through the roof, and it's going to be, we're going to go from first world to third world overnight, basically, within a few months, not overnight, I would say. Give it a month or two, people will be totally done. And this is why we prep, or hopefully you guys prep. I know I prep, and I put my money where my mouth is. I have a tiny house bug out location I can get to, and it's going to be self-sufficient hopefully by the end of this summer, by fall. And that's if I can afford any more batteries, but that's beside the point. If I gotta live with just that single small battery, I gotta do it. That's the way it is. Since everything's gone to hell here. But besides the point, I hope you guys in the US are prepping your butts off while the getting's good. Because this is outrageous. Trump's trying to do his best, but like I said, the Democrats in the U.S. are just completely in Fruit Loop land, and there's a couple things why. There's a couple reasons why they're bringing these people in. One is they're giving migrants driver's licenses in some certain states, and from there they can drive without insurance, not be thrown in jail, not processed, kill people, injure vehicles, damage property, and not be charged. Not only that, these states will allow them to vote. They're not even Americans, yet they can vote in your guys' elections. What? WTF, guys? They're allowing foreigners that have invaded your country to vote, as they want the direction of the country to go. That's why the Democrats just love them. They keep saying, bring them in, pour them in, because we don't have a base anymore. we bet the farm on the Trump delusion, and we don't have anywhere to go but full on suicide mission. Let's just flood the border, bring all these Packies in. And guess what, guys? They're going to be given free everything. They're going to vote Democrat, and you're going to get another Hillary in. Or try to get a Hillary in, I should say. And just drive the nail in the coffin of the American flag here. They want that section. That's the first part of why they're letting these hordes in. Because they've been planning this for a long time. They made laws back in the day for this to happen. So they're just using that up. Now, part two is when they bring America to their knees, flooding them with all these foreigners. They want the no borders, no walls, no USA at all. Remember that chant? They want that. Because they come up with cult language like... tolerant or intolerant. This is all cult speak, guys. They bring in all this crap, and what they do is they say, well, you got to be tolerant and bring all these people in, but you don't see these bigwigs letting all these Packies into their houses for free, paying for them, do you? No. Oh no, we don't see Pelosi doing that. We don't see Sanders doing that. We don't see Beto doing that. We don't see AOC doing that. Meanwhile, California, New York, San Diego, there's homeless hordes everywhere. There's drugs and needles everywhere. There's crap in the streets everywhere. And people are freaking out. They're leaving the states that's happening in and getting the hell out. because they're literally turning those states into mini third world countries. Coming soon to your state, guys. So just keep in mind, keep that in mind. Now, if I was somebody in the U.S., I'd move a little bit closer, if you have the will and the money and the smarts, to the Canadian border. And I'll tell you why. Most of these migrants and whatevers, who knows what the hell they are, don't like the cold. And they're not going to survive too well up north. Let's put it that way. That's the saving grace for us guys up here in the north. We know what we're talking about. We know how to deal with the keeping warm in the winter, all that kind of stuff. These guys are beach bums. They want to stay in the California areas, the nice warm areas at the coast. San Diego, California, that's their number one. They like New York too, but the problem is, eventually, when New York falls to their stupidity, New York gets pretty damn cold in the winter. So these guys are going to head out south. Well, if you're in the north, you'll be okay. Just a little food for thought on that. A little hint. Hint, hint. You guys are prepping. You think you're going to be okay in the south? No. Because most people are going to go to the south to survive the winters and, you know, stay pretty toasty, cozy, warm. But there'll be, you know, everybody else will have that same idea, and you'll have to deal with living with all those hordes and crime and rape and whatever. So stay to the north, guys. Just a little tip. Now, all these nut bars in the U.S. that are allowing this to happen, they need to be dealt with yesterday. But it's not going to happen. I don't know. Trump's got a lot on his plate. I don't know. I'm not going to talk too much about Trump because a lot of people, they don't seem to understand about that. So I'll leave that there. But anyway, back to the shit hits the fan. It's happening now, guys. So, start prepping. If you're just starting now, I'd be scared shitless if I was just starting now. Because it takes a lot of money. And it takes a lot of time to research what you need. Research some skills, what you need, how to do it. And get a bug out bag together. Get a bug out vehicle ready to go. Have spare gas on hand. Have, water filters. Water on hand. Get extra gas, food, all that fun stuff, tools, everything under the sun you can think of. Look up prepping. There's a million videos on YouTube about it. Get on it. Get doing it. Load up on toilet paper. How many people have extra toilet paper in their house ready to rip in case they gotta get the hell out? That's going to be a luxury item. Now, this mess is unbelievable with the migrants coming in. If we go third world, guys, how many people are going to be able to handle that? Welfare will be gone. Basically, part 3 of their plan, I think I got part 2 done. With the driver's license for the illegals and free welfare and all that. Part 3 is turning the country into a communist third world hellhole. And that is the plan. I don't think most people would want to live in that. So it's time to get smart. Turn the crap news off. The mainstream media news is not your friend. get on the alternative media. I said it a million times. I'm not even going to list who I think you guys should be watching, because a lot of people don't like the people I watch and don't care because they watching their American Idol, or they're doing this, that, and the other thing, and not, they're just out to lunch as is. They're letting this happen. So anyway, we got trouble coming. Get prepping now, guys. It's coming. It's on the way. If you gotta pick up, like, I don't know. I think I'll be okay for work, but, and my prepping and stuff, but it's getting to the point where it's getting ridiculous. Like, time is short for you guys to get prepping, especially with all this stuff going down. Up here in Canada, another shit hit the fan. We have 2 states, even though everything over here is they call everything a province. Just so I'm going to keep it in American terms for you guys. We have 2 states that are in the west of Canada that are competing against one another to export as much oil as possible and bring that to the market. And it's getting so bad that they're having infighting between the 2 states, basically. And they're threatening to shut the gas off to the state they don't like. And this is driving up fuel costs here in Canada. And now, like I said, guys, the crap economy piled on with extremely high gasoline costs, plus a carbon tax, which is complete and utter bullshit, is unbelievable. If I'm going to throw some common sense at these people, they won't listen. Nobody will listen. They think by charging us a tax, they're going to stop Mother Nature. Let me repeat that. They think by charging us more money, they're going to stop Mother Nature. Retarded, people. We have retarded people in office, just like the U.S. Retarded people. Now, you guys know I don't believe in climate change or global warming, because I go outside and experience the world and know what it's like at night and then during the day. And I have eyeballs and not blinders on and can see and look at the weather and see what's going on around me. I don't sit in front of the TV and watch CNN 24 hours and believe every word coming out of their mouths as written in stone. Garbage, guys. If they were serious about the environment, I'll give you the 5 on how to fix the environment or help the environment. Number 1, ban pesticides completely and absolutely across the board. And guess what? When you ban pesticides, that includes genetically modified food and crops. Uh-oh, can't do that. Can't do that, guys. Even though Roundup has been proven in court to cause cancer for years, they knew about it for years. And remember, guys, the Roundup people, Monsanto, their nickname, developed genetically modified organisms, GMOs. That's what's in your food, guys. And guess what? GMOs are food that has pesticides built into their genes. So when you think you're getting rid of the pesticides by washing it under the sink, under the tap, guess what? You're not taking shit off of that plant and you're eating that shit. And then you're getting cancer. And since you're rinsing it with water out of the tap, since I mentioned that, you're getting fluoride, you're getting all the runoff and recycled crap from the pharmaceutical companies back into your water, because they can't remove that, guys, unless you distill water, and they don't distill city water. I'll tell you that 100%, because it costs too much. But it's the best water you can get, distilled water. Now, shit, I'm only on 2, and we're going into long rants about this stuff. Part 2. Oh my god. Or is that even... That's part 1. I'm not even on 2 yet. No. 2. We'll call the water supply 2. What the hell? The water. Pharmaceuticals that people flush down the toilet, or if you just urinate and you're on pharmaceuticals, guess what? In your piss, there's still remnants of that drug that your body couldn't absorb. It goes into the water supply. They try to filter it, but guess what? We end up drinking it again, over and over and over, in this vicious cycle. This is why I have a gravity-fed filter set up that gets rid of glyphosate and pharmaceuticals and everything else. And actually, recently, since at the moment I can't afford to replace the expensive filter cartridge for that to happen, I've been buying distilled water from Walmart. Do it. Drink it. What I heard, distilled water is really bad for you guys. Coming from the same people who tell you GMOs are good, and the Russian collusion happened, and a bunch of other horse shit, because they think you're morons. No, guys, get on distilled water if you can't afford a expensive filter that'll take all that shit out. Now, I mentioned glyphosate. What is that? Fancy word for Roundup. It's in the water supply. They can't take it out in the tap water. So, distilled water, guys. That's number 2. So let's do a little recap. We're not even at 5 yet. Pesticides banned completely. Water better be goddamn distilled for everybody. Number 3, planned obsolescence. Anybody know what that is? It's when a company builds something and they build it to the quality as such, in 2 or 3 years it crumbles and is useless, so you have to buy from them again. We have the technology and the ability to build something that'll last forever. Doesn't matter what it is. We don't do that because companies tell you, oh, if we did that, we'd be bankrupt. Really? What does that matter if the world is fucking dead because we have garbage heaps everywhere of junk that you keep making that falls apart in a year or 2? Planned obsolescence, number 3. Number 4, oh boy, the battery's running low on my camera. Number 4, nuclear power. We don't need it. We don't want it. Hell no. They said it's clean energy. They told me. The same people who told me GMOs are good and the Russian collusion happened. nuclear waste, guys, ever hear of it? They have to build deep underground storage facilities to hold nuclear waste. Fukushima is still dumping radiation. You know Fukushima, you guys remember that place. It melted down, and they're dumping their radioactive water into the Pacific. To this day. Legally. Let me repeat that. They're dumping nuclear water into the Pacific since the meltdown happened. Legally. That means someone's allowing that to happen. Yeah. We don't need nuclear energy unless it's safe nuclear. Let me tell you a story about safe nuclear. They've known about safe nuclear for a very long time. They have reactors. The only reason they build the reactors that produce that waste is because from the side effects of that, what would we say? The waste products of that give them the fuel for nuclear armaments for the military industrial complex. That's the reason they've stuck with that same old nuclear model as opposed to going with the safe model, which is, I forget the name, but I will include it in this rant video for you guys, then you can look it up. They've known about it forever, and that technology cannot melt down. Let me repeat that. That technology of radioactive nuclear powered plants produces no waste and cannot melt down during an emergency. It passively takes care of itself, guys. It's insane. Number five, oh boy. Number 5, how to save the environment. I don't know, I covered 4 pretty good bases on that. Number 5, I don't know. Number 5, I'm out. Shit is bad, guys. We got to do something. Shit is bad. It's coming. It's here. If you're not ready, I don't know. If you can't, try this on a weekend, guys. Shut your panel box off in your house and see how comfortable you are for the weekend. It'll be like camping on a high-end scale, except you won't have electricity. Your fridge will turn nasty. Your freezer will turn nasty. See what will break down in your house. Most people won't do that because they already know it's a bad idea from common sense. Well, if you don't know that and don't do that, how are you going to know what you're going to need in an emergency situation when you have no... You can flip your panel box switch all you want, but the power ain't coming back. What are you going to do then? Can't run to Walmart and get your supplies now. They won't let you. No power. Can't get gas in the car. No power. Can't go anywhere unless it's on foot. No power. And then when the food starts running out and the water, nobody to call to come help you out or bail you out. Now's the time to load up, guys, because shit is happening as we speak, and the mainstream media isn't talking about it because they're in cover-up mode, and they're still talking about Russia because they can't get over that they lost. But the reason they lost is everybody's sick of their shit because they've been screwing us for so many years. But they don't want to lose power, so they're just going to say, hey, if we can't have it, nobody will. Let's flood the country with migrants and bring her all down. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. And think about our number 5 for me. Save the environment. I'm into alternative energy a little bit. Dip my toe into it. I got solar, got a wind turbine. But that shit is great. Except it's not going to save the world when we got morons running the government. Yeah, that'll do. See you on the next one.